Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Today was a very significant day in the history of Ambazonian. We all saw the wonderful launching of the embassy in Washington DC. I'm going to be bringing you some excerpt from the launching in Washington DC. It was wonderful. We had a wonderful time with the president there. You saw the videos. I'm gonna be showing you some videos of this launching, and we're gonna be talking about this. How important is this mission to the people of Ambazonia, and how we think we have to keep using this opportunity to push for our struggle. For the past 7 years, we have not had the opportunity to have a diplomatic mission, and people were not cognizant of the reason or the raison d'etre behind this diplomatic mission. I think by now most people have understood the reason why this diplomatic mission was open. We have a struggle that has been neglected for the past 7 years. We have fought tooth and nail. Our soldiers are doing their best in ground zero. The freedom fighters are doing what they can. The different groups are trying their best. We appreciate every Ambazonian doing their best, but there are some point where we need to use a different strategy. We've tried most of the other methods of doing things. It's not working. Okay, all what we hear from the diplomats is that they don't know who to talk to. They don't know what we want. Okay, and when you don't have a house, when you don't have where you can meet somebody, diplomats will not meet you in your house. Diplomats don't meet people in their houses. Diplomats will want to meet you in a diplomatic mission. Okay, so that's why they make it official. It's an official meeting. Okay, and that is what most people want. They want something official that they can say, oh, okay, this is a mission that we have. Okay, we are looking at something that the people of Ambazonia have not seen before, but today is a historic day, and I want to thank all those who made it, all those who were there, and for those people who were there, you can see that the momentum was wonderful. Okay, the momentum was wonderful, and we saw how the people of Ambazonia were ready to showcase what they want to tell the world, and that is a good thing, right? Making the world know that we are people, we deserve better, and we saw that today at the Washington opening. It was a wonderful mission. I want to thank all those who made it. We saw the population there, the Ambazonian that were there. It was a wonderful to come and see. I'm going to be playing you some excerpts so that we see how wonderful that you see. Let me show you some excerpt and we see. Let's go through it and okay. It's a wonderful day. These are some pictures from Washington DC. Those people who were there, you can see those are pictures from Washington DC. You can see those are You can see that's the president, President Chris Arnold there live. that's how it is, right? Look at you see the building, that's a flag right up there. You see the flag, the Ambazonian flag right up there at the heart of Washington DC, and you see the celebration. Today is a historic day for Ambazonia. We thank all those who made it. It has not been easy for Ambazonian for the past 7 years. That we did not have any diplomatic mission. We did not have where we can sit and talk with the diplomat. And today we have one. It's a blessing for the people of Ambazonia to understand that this is something that we have to jubilate. We have to be glad and say thank you, God, for this wonderful breakthrough that we have. Okay, and you know, Ambazonians are very, very positive when it comes to this diplomatic mission. For the past years, we have had nothing to do with diplomacy. Okay, we were focused on ground zero. Okay, and that focus, we realized that it led us to nowhere, and we were just trying to prove our strength in ground zero. And why did that not move well for us? It did not move well because we were just doing less or no diplomacy while the crisis was going on. So the diplomatic world did not know what we were fighting for. They did not know how they can reach out to us and how the various groups can come together and have a one voice so that we can speak to the diplomatic community. Today we see that happening, and it's a blessing. You know, our people have a just cause, and the diplomats understand that. Okay, today the United States have granted us their house. Okay, they have granted us their home for us to have our embassy or our diplomatic mission. Today is a very historic day that Ambazonians should be very, very grateful, to be happy with this move, because for the past 7 years, we have not had anything like this, right? Now we can talk to the diplomats, we can have our discussions, we can tell them what we want, we can look at we can express our own self. Okay, this is what we are talking about. It makes sense in the diplomatic world because diplomats like privacy. They want.
Yeah, this is our beautiful
office. This is the that's the building there.
That.
So you can see that's a building. You see, this is live in Washington DC. That is our flag right up there at the building. You see, this is one of the best embassy you can have. Even La Republic Embassy is not as beautiful as this. I'm telling you, I've been to La Republic Embassy in Washington DC. It's not as beautiful as this building. Look at this building. This is the heart of Washington DC, the capital of the United States of America. This is the flag of Ambazonia flying high in that building. Okay? This is not a joke. This is the flag of Ambazonia. Okay? So our people should know that we are in the diaspora. We are fighting the way we can. But what we realize is that for the past 7 years, we were too focused on ground zero that we forgot about diplomacy. And now we realize that we have to do both to succeed. We have to do both to succeed. Okay, that is the mission. And we have realized that our people have had all what they can. They have passed through the tortures, the massacres, all types of torments and mistreatment, but we realize that if we're not talking to these people, the international community is not just a country. These are people who represent those countries, and we have to start talking to them. Okay, we have to start talking to them, and without that, things cannot move. Things cannot move. Yeah, as you can see, we have Mike Fusi live there in Washington D.C., who's gonna be giving us some. These were videos that was sent to us after the program, after the opening. So we're gonna be having a lot of images coming from Washington D.C. Please, we are live on the studio of ID Mind Media, Radio and Television. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a historic day for us. We have to be glad and rejoice. Let me give you some excerpt of what happened in Washington D.C. today, and it is a wonderful historic moment for Ambazonia. For those who listen to Mike Fusi there in Washington D.C. That's Mike Fusi live from Washington D.C.
But fellow Ambazonians, I want you to take this very seriously. There is no terrorist organization that has a space here in Washington, space of theirs. You don't see Al Qaeda here, you don't see ISIS here, you don't see Boko Haram here, none of that. But we are right here in Washington, D.C., 600 Massachusetts Avenue, right here in Washington, D.C., zip code 20001. You can Google it. It's easy to find it. But don't expect, for those who have dubious intentions, don't expect to have access up to where we are easily. You have to go through a serious security protocol to get yourself into this building. We will be joining Amazonians very soon as the event is already kickstarting, but we will pick up on this conversation during the course of.
I can see that's Mike Fusi there from Washington D.C. You see the that's the embassy. You can see the population there. You see the special invitees that, and more people were still coming, and it is very important for us to understand that things happen as they happen, but
We'll
Let
take
me
you
put on
inside
mic.
and we'll continue
Fusi
the
there.
event from the inside.
So they are going inside. That's inside the hall. That's inside the embassy itself.
All members of the executive branch present, all the members of the
This
restoration
is
council
history in the
present,
making.
honorable Ambazonians, all citizens of Ambazonia. Today is a great day for us. Great day. Mission here in the United States, in the nation's capital.
That's Honorable Christopher speaking, giving the opening speech there.
We are taking baby steps, but these are very strong
that's
baby steps. And as we open our we as diplomats, we all of us Ambazonians are as diplomats. Our goal is for peace.
That's our comrade in arms.
The peace of our country.
You can see the comrade in arms right there.
Our nation, with respect to other countries, and the promotion of democracy and human rights. That's our goal. We do not want to create enmity. Our goal is not for conflict, but Ambazonians fighting for our rights, fighting for democracy and our freedom. We will use every means available, possible, in order to bring that freedom that we seek, to bring the peace and the happiness that every living person on this earth deserves. Therefore, our mission will be towards those goals. And we pledge our loyalty and our allegiance to our country, and we respect the existence, the peaceful existence of every nation on earth. But we will also defend our own interests and the well-being and security of our people and our nation. Therefore, we would like to call on all Ambazonians to work towards those goals so that Ambazonia will shine in the world as a nation of peace, as a nation that promotes democracy, and as a nation that promotes human rights. We thank you all. Today is a great day, and we thank the Almighty God and continue to pray for the blessing of to our nation and the world. Thank you all very much.
So that was Honorable Christopher there. I want us to understand that this diplomatic mission is for the benefit of every Ambazonian. Okay, it has nothing to do with any individual. Okay, and this diplomatic mission will act as any other diplomatic mission is doing. Okay, sometimes you ask yourself, it's very shameful to see people going around saying things that are not really necessary. Okay, for the past 7 years we have been looking for opportunities like this. You know, I have been in this struggle for the past 7 years. I will tell you that all the foreign ministers, I will say this frank and clear, all the foreign ministers or foreign secretaries that was appointed by Seseko, Sako, Iya Marianta, all of them failed. All of them failed because they had no idea about foreign affairs. No idea. Until even of recent, you heard even Ambassador Tibonagi saying that nobody was talking to America. So now that we have this diplomatic breakthrough, you see people put their personal hatred above the struggle. Okay. So this is okay. Even if some people say Comrade Chris Ano has opened an asylum office. I mean, you know, why refer to desperate and genuinely Ambazonian looking for documentary support for their cases as vulnerable? I don't understand. Embassies has broad services. Any embassy in any country that you are today, the job of the embassy, it has so many different services that they offer, right? But why should people focus on asylum office? Of course, look at how our refugees in Nigeria are suffering. Don't you think that we have Cameroon embassy there? We have Cameroon embassy in Nigeria. How is the Cameroon embassy in Nigeria helping the refugees there? They don't help. We are bringing a different phase of the struggle. Okay, we are telling the world that we have a country. We are telling the world that we have a government. We have everything, and we have a diplomatic mission. So that if they want to talk to us, they want to talk to the leaders, they want to talk to the groups, we have where we can meet them. We have where we can meet them. So I don't know why some of our own people, Ambazonians, stupefy themselves in the international scene like this. Okay, Comrade Chris Ano is heading somewhere, and Ambazonians should watch and see the outcomes. Okay, we have all, for 7 years we have been crying for a diplomatic mission. We have been crying for the absence of diplomacy, right? Of course, they were known, and today we have one. People are saying, "Oh, we don't want this. Oh, we don't want this." This is just, they're just displaying their stupidity. I mean, it's just crazy, right?
Listen to the man of the day, the lion in the house.
So we're waiting for the president's speech in a short while.
At center of his soul, the pocket, who like for
fellow Ambazonians, my president, Honorable RC Chair, I am so grateful to be here today. And I'm sure all of you are grateful to be here today with the president. This is shaking everybody. And you guys know it's shaking our enemies, it's shaking La Republic, and we should be proud of ourselves. We should be proud of our president for working so hard to take us to this level. When we go home, we should pray for God him and guide him.
That's
this is
our
the
Ebu
man
Mafranca there.
who will take us far and beyond. This is the man. So I just want to thank all of you here, the ladies too, the who did a very good job to decorate this office today. The ladies who
I want to use this opportunity to thank her. She's been the organizer for all the activities before the launching of this wonderful historic event.
Our chairperson here to welcome all of you, and this is just a wonderful day. Thank you guys very much. And while our enemies are doing something to distract the public, but we are here. They're doing something, they're having their own end of year party just to distract, but we are here and we're moving forward. Thank you guys very much.
done, you and your team. Much appreciated. Before the president speaks,
That was Mafranca there. We have seen, we have heard from the Honorable Christopher, who is the vice chair of the Restoration Council, who just spoke before Mafranca. So,
Chris, I'll start with you. The Restoration Chair, or Vice Chair, and fellow Ambazonians, I greet you all. I'm standing here on behalf of SCAPO to greet all Ambazonians, and especially to give a hand of kudos to Comrade Chris. We have been working with him. We had a meeting with the Hudson Institute, and since we have been moving forward. To those detractors who are claiming that this is a hoax, I just want to advise them that they need to make more effort and then find out. We are not working
as a representative of SCAPO,
working with the lobbyist firm that
one of the
guiding our paths,
the groups in the struggle,
and advising us. We're working too with our famous friend, former Secretary Nash, and then those who are not willing to get on board, they will soon realize late. So we're advising them to get on board, and then we move together. Comrade Chris has said it often and often. He is the revolutionary. He is not a president of a country, because we are still struggling to restore that country which was stolen from us. And he prefers to that. We respect as comrade, and I appreciate that. So, in that light, we encourage him, and we will continue as CAPO to give our support to him, because we realize that we are all moving towards the right path. We encourage every other person, those who claiming that they are whatever, remain in the back, but their destruction, their destruction will not affect this noble cause which we are embarking on. Comrade Chris, kudos for the effort you have done. This is an office. We are not saying that this is a diplomatic nation of a sovereign state. No, that's what they are confusing. Even PLO, that's the Palestinian Liberation Organization, ANC, South Africa, FNL, Angola movement, political movement, had offices in countries, and they were working with those countries that gave them places. So there's nothing strange in the U.S. giving us a movement, recognizing us as a movement, fighting to liberate our country. And when we shall get through and get back our country, become a sovereign state, that's when we'll get our full diplomatic mission. So those people who are foolish to not find out and know the problem, let them continue to live in their ignorance. So kudos, comrade. This is our movement's office, and from here, many more things will be done. Thank you very much.
I think I'd like to highlight one thing.
Yes, so that's the SCAPO representative. There are other representatives of other groups that that came there. So it is very important for us to understand that, okay, we are in a struggle, we are in a crisis, and what people say is that no country is coming to okay, there's no country coming to for our support, but for the past 7 years we were not doing what to enable that environment so that we can talk, because it's us going to talk to countries. You cannot sit and wait for countries to come and talk to you. It doesn't work like that. Diplomacy is you going to lobby. You lobby, that's what they call lobbying. You go and look for diplomatic opportunities. For the past 7 years, the leaders did not know that. Most of the leaders did not know that. They were there focusing on these Zoom meetings and Zoom all the time, and the enemies in ground zero, the blacklegs, they were saying, oh, it's a Facebook republic, it's a Zoom republic, and they were calling all kinds of names. Now we are trying to go now physical. Let's talk to the diplomats and do everything physically now. They say, oh, that is not it's not necessary, it's not important. Oh, why are you talking to the diplomat? It's not necessary. You see, this is not necessary. Why are you talking? So that's what we're talking about, right? That's what okay, now that we want to have our diplomatic mission, you say no, it's not necessary, we have not had a country yet. Come on. The same people who said these leaders or this leader is not working, or this leader when you want to do something that will prepare the struggle, they start complaining. Oh, why do you going to have a diplomatic this thing? We have not had a country. We have not had it. The same people now who say that, Comrade Chris said that we do not have a country yet. Comrade Chris want to go for federal system. Comrade Chris want referendum. The same people now. Oh my God. So at the end of the day, there are people who just sit behind their phones and criticize. Okay, that's all what they do. They sit behind their phone and criticize. Okay, and they are not doing anything. They are not doing anything. Okay, but we have this opportunity today. Okay, for the past 7 years, many human rights organizations have investigated. They have gathered evidence, match them against existing laws, and make policy proposals and consideration. It goes nowhere. They kill our people today. All the evidentiary approach to human rights reporting, they lends to credibility, right? Alters actor behavior. They even make those things. They say, they will gather evidence and give to the public to prosecute those people who are killing the bee. Till today, all the massacre, all the killings, all those things that have been happening, how many of our people have been have had justice? Let me say that. How many? None, right? But you have seen all kinds of atrocities against our people, right? But how many of our people have had justice? None, because we were spending time on innuendos. We're spending time on innuendos. Today we are doing the same thing that any other country inside liberation movement are doing. That's what we are doing. We'll be going tooth and nail with that kind of system, so that we'll make sure that okay. Yep. That's what we are doing. Let's listen to our honorable.
Was asked to come here and be an eyewitness to what is taking place. We are not doing this from a basement. We are doing this from the second floor in the 600 block of Massachusetts Avenue in Washington, D.C. I will use this opportunity to call all Ambazonians that this office is not for a particular group, it's for all Ambazonians. So if we could all unite, Buya would be just a step ahead. So I'm calling on other leaders, please doing this.
This is Amber Flag in
to herself, an Ambazonian. And I'm here to tell you that even though our traditional rulers have all been put under lock and key, the tradition still holds. and the tradition will always be for the people. We were put there in order to take care of you people and not ourselves. Therefore, we will always be with you, protect our integrity, our flag, and every
That's the
Ambazonian. And I
flag
pray
flying
that when
high
we there,
in
we
front
all
at the
preach
top
for the
of the
unity that all
embassy.
Ambazonians may be one. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prince. And once more, I truly would like to welcome every one of you who is present tonight or this afternoon.
Now,
It's a historic
the comrade in arms is
in
speaking.
our struggle. This has been on for 7 years and counting now. And I don't think that the Republic ever thought that 7 years after, 2 cubes of sugar will refuse to dissolve. I think they have learned their lessons now that if for 7 years and counting, the 2 cubes of sugar haven't dissolved, it is very obvious. If it takes another 7 years, if it takes another 14 years, we will be into, when we begin to set up permanent structures like where we are today, I think it should send a very strong message to La Republic that we are in this till the end. We will not cut and run. We will not cut and run, and Ambazonians will not cut and run. We are into this till the end of it. And comrades, let me assure all of you that revolutions are not political. Did you hear me? Revolutions struggle authority. From the beginning of this struggle in 2016-17, every Ambazonian was out there shouting, protesting, marching, putting money out. How many can we count today? Many have fallen by the wayside. But has it stopped the struggle? No, absolutely not. That is to tell the Republic du Cameroon that even if we are left, only 3 or 2 of us, 7 of us, we will see the end of this struggle that will lead to a free and independent Southern Cameroon. Ambassador. Having said that, let me bring you my official address here, ladies and gentlemen. Team Ambazonians, distinguished guests, quest for freedom and independence. I stand before you today with a profound sense of purpose and determination as we witness the historic launch of the Ambazonian diplomatic mission here in the world's capital, Washington, D.C. Today marks a pivotal moment in our relentless pursuit of diplomatic avenues to support our free and independent Ambazonia. From this place, from this office, we will embark on a mission to engage with the international community, advocating for the recognition of Ambazonia's sovereignty and the protection of the rights of the people of Ambazonia. We are here to assert our legitimate aspirations and to demonstrate our unwavering commitment to the cause of Ambazonia's liberation. To the government of La République du Cameroon, we issue a solemn warning. We are not terrorists, neither are we separatists. We are freedom fighters. We are fighters. Our cause is rooted in the fundamental principles of justice, self-determination, and human rights. We will utilize every peaceful means available to us to achieve our goal of a free and independent. And we call upon the international community to support our just cause. I appeal to Ambazonians worldwide to embrace and wholeheartedly support the mission of this office, for it belongs to every one of us. It is a symbol, this office, this mission is a symbol of our collective determination and resilience in the city. From here, from this mission, we'll amplify our voices, advance our cause on a global stage, forging alliances and building solidarity with other nations and organizations that share our commitment to freedom and justice. Before gathering here today, some suggested that we should launch this diplomatic mission secretly, and quietly too. That means concealing the venue, the location, and avoiding public for fear of what the Republic of Cameroon can do. However, we emphatically rejected the idea. We refuse to remain silent for the hear us and hear us. Today, the symbolic gesture of what we do here will resound across the globe. It echoes the unwavering resolve of all of us, the Ambazonian people, to reclaim our homeland. And this symbolic action signifies our steadfast refusal to entertain anything less than total freedom for Ambazonia in any negotiations with La République du Cameroon. Coming here today, we learned that La République du Cameroon has ordered her ambassador here in Washington, D.C., right here in this city, to petition the United States Department of State about this office, about this mission. The colonizers and the fraudsters that rule that country, that we are legally registered right here in the United States of America. We are a legally registered entity, and that we do everything here to the letter of the law. And that America does not take orders nor fraternize with banana republics such as Cameroon. We are not worried at all what schemes the Republic of Cameroon has in motion. We are rather worried about how long our people still have to endure Cameroon war and killings on our people. This worry caused us to unite on this momentous occasion. Let us remember the sacrifices of our forebears, the sacrifice of restoration fighters, the suffering of our people, and the resilience of our communities. Let their courage and determination inspire us to press forward with unyielding resolve, undeterred by the challenges that lie ahead. Our struggle is noble, and our aspirations are rooted in the universal principles of freedom, dignity, and self-determination. Let us seize this historic moment, ladies and gentlemen, as a catalyst for greater unity, determination, and action. Let us remain steadfast in our commitment to the cause of Ambazonia's freedom. And let the launch of this diplomatic mission serve as a beacon of hope for our people and a clarion call to the world. Together, we will prevail, and the dawn of a free and independent Amazonia will shine brightly upon us all. Thank you all for coming. Long live the Federal Republic of Amazonia. Short live the war.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are very happy, and that moment has come. So the president is going to down to the second floor, where we are going to cut the ribbon. So after that, we will come back up here and continue with the celebration. So get your flag. Yeah, the flags there.
As you can see, that was the president there.
We continue with the program. Thank you.
That was a president who
so
made
we're
his
going to go down in group. Yeah, so
very powerful speech there.
For us to go down.
You know, this is what we are.
Yes, so that we have to transport everybody downstairs.
We are seeing the international community trembling, right? Ambazonian rising to fall no more.
So are we ready? They are looking for the key to. Oh, okay, yes, we are ready.
This is live. This is live in DC. Ambazonian flag in DC. Our office in DC. This is live. This is live. You can see the building. You can see our building. You can see American flag. You can see Ambazonian flag. Oh my.
Me too. I'm so happy to be here.
No make me come up for this.
Facebook.
For this our office.
Yeah, so Ambazonian rising. Ladies and gentlemen, we heard the president's speech. We heard his analysis. I'll be bringing somebody to come on air with me. Dr. Ngwambe will be coming on air, and we're gonna be analyzing what the president's made. So get ready. We'll have President Chris just spoke. We're gonna be talking about the speech and the history in the making. So please stay tuned. I have Dr. Ngwambe coming on air. We're gonna be analyzing the president's speech. I'm gonna talk much about the benefits of this diplomatic mission. And it is very, very somehow sad that some of our comrades don't know the importance of a diplomatic mission and how this is going to propel the struggle. Okay, we are just looking at this and we're saying that hopefully some of our comrades are going to understand. So we're going to be bringing Dr. Ngwambe. I'm still waiting to see him come on, and once he comes, we gonna be giving some analysis of the whole speech. Okay, so I'm waiting for Dr. Ngwambe to come on, and once he's on, you guys gonna be seeing us, and we're gonna analyze the speech together. Okay, but let me just get a little excerpt of what the president said. Okay, he mentioned this aspect of La Republique for the past 7 years, calling us 2 cubes of sugar, right? And the aspect that many of our fellow countrymen, they are falling in the battlefield. We have seen thousands of our people displaced. We have seen a lot of people who have gone down just because of this struggle. But today we are trying to say that we have a lot
today na Saturday, December
to say about our struggle
9.
today, because
Saturday,
of the benefit
December
that the
the
struggle
9.
brings.
I know
I'll bring one of our brother who will be coming to talk to us too. So we'll have a lot of people who come and talk to us as the struggle moves on. Okay, let me bring some. Those are some pictures, some images that is coming. You see, that's the embassy there. You see those are some images that I'm just bringing so that you guys can see how those people who missed it. Those are images coming from the organization of that wonderful event. I'm waiting for Dr. Ngwambe to come on air so that we're gonna be talking about a lot about it, the analysis of this struggle. And I know most of us don't understand how far we have gone, and you see those are some of the images coming. Okay, I can see Dr. Let me set up Dr. Ngwambe. I can see Dr. Ngwambe there. Let me set up Dr. Ngwambe. Okay. Hello, Doc. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, bro. Loud and clear. How for you? Yeah, you fine.
Okay. We are going on air now, Doc. I know. Can you hear me there? Can you hear me, Doc?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for coming on air. Yeah. Thank you, Doc, for coming on air. We are going to be talking about the president's speech. We hear the president say a lot of issues. I want you to give a little excerpt about what you think this day is for you. Your own take about this day. What do you think about this day? The significance, the symbolism of this day for you, Dr. Ngwambe.
So first of all, let me thank you, my brother, again. We're back together again. You were one of those people who somehow baptized me into the media space of talking to the Ambazonian people, educating the Ambazonian people. So I want to thank you for inviting me onto your show, and I also want to greet our Ambazonian people at home, abroad, our valiant fighters, And I want to greet Comrade
Thank you.
Chris and
Thank.
all the and greet the cabinet members and all the Ambazonian stakeholders, because I think it was either Pa Dangam or Pa Sherif who I saw at the hall, and the other Ambazonian stakeholders who were there, Tap, Mike Fusi, our mamis that were there, and everyone who made today a monumentous day. My fellow Ambazonians, today is the day that God and our ancestors have made for us. It was for me, my own opinion of it is this is a monumentous day for the insoluble cubes of sugar called Ambazonia. You all know what insoluble means now. We can't be dissolved. La Republic du Cameroon, they thought that they were going to dissolve us, get rid of us, the 2 cubes of sugar. They thought they were going to give, and we're still here and strong. We're still coming up with different strategies that are necessary to help us achieve our independence. And we just saw that strategy implemented today. I also want to really make sure I thank my brother Didi Candida, because Candida was the project manager behind getting all of these things set up. Who else? Dr. Chanjo was very influential. Ma Franca, Ma Nambi. Who else? If I'm missing anyone, our brother Sebastian, and Comrade Chris in particular for this vision, and anyone whose name I've forgotten. This is just the spirit of the moment, and sometimes the names get jumbled up. But I want to thank all of these people and the people of Ambazonia, those who contributed financially, those who made their time to make this day a success. I really want to thank all of them. But for me, I see this as another one of those milestones in the history of our country. We're following in the footsteps of other successful liberation movements. So this is nothing new. I know we see the naysayers that are out there, but we're not going to let those naysayers rain on the Ambazonian parade, right? We are just making sure we do what other successful movements have done in achieving the goals of liberation for their people. So I'm very proud of what we Ambazonians have been able to do today. Very proud.
Right.
Over to you.
Thank you. You mentioned a lot of stuff, but the president said that the La Republic government. Okay. So the president said that the aspect of the La Republic sending some, telling the embassy here in America to tell the American government to halt the launching of the embassy. I mean, we are doing things legally, right? Now Ambazonian organization is registered here in America. Everything is registered. We have a movement that is recognized. We have lobbies that are following the legal procedures. Okay, we're not just doing things like we're doing before, like in the last 7 years where we're not following the law of America. Some of our brothers fell into the law of America because they did not follow the law. And so I don't understand what La Republic is trying to say, right? Trying to ask the embassy here to stop the launching of an embassy or of our diplomatic mission. How is that possible, man? Dr. Ngwambi.
So one thing I'll say is that we were even before the establishment of this diplomatic mission, we Ambazonians, we made sure we were on the right side of the law in the things that we were doing and are still doing. So I just wanted to make sure we clear that up. But what we have done in making sure that we pursue a professional spokesperson, aka a lobbyist, and then now setting up this diplomatic mission is, and even our and being registered at the Justice Department as a foreign principal or a foreign country, because that is the classification that's on the documents for that registration. And then in addition to the registration of the interim government of Ambazonia, with the competent authorities in the District of Columbia, all these things are being done in our continued effort to elevate the legality of what we're doing. My fellow Ambazonians, you all know that we are fighting a just fight, right? But there are those people who, when they want to steal from you, when they want to take from you, they will, they'll use all kinds of technicalities and all kinds of funny things that they'll do to try to sabotage what you're doing. So all the things that we have done has just been in an effort to make sure we, we cross our T's and dot our I's, and we have our back door and all the other windows in the house covered so that nobody can come in and disrupt us from achieving our freedom. So that's what this is for. La République du Cameroon, there's nothing really La République du Cameroon can do for us. I keep saying it. We are not the first liberation movement, liberation organization, people seeking for sovereignty and full independence and full dignity and full rights. We're not the first set of people to do what we're doing. So La République can huff and puff and complain all they want. It's not going to mean anything. La République du Cameroon, you all had the opportunity to have kept this issue from reaching to where it has arrived, starting from dictator Amadou Ahidjo, with the mischief he did at the Fumban conference. That's where all this stuff got messed up. And then going into the fake referendum in 1972, which should not even have taken place, right? Based on the constitution that existed back then, it should not even have taken place. And then moving forward into this situation now, you all had multiple opportunities to do right by the people of Ambazonia. And now it is out of your hands. It is completely out of your hands.
Exactly.
We have given you the opportunity to fix it, and now we have taken the responsibility to fix this situation for ourselves. And the only fix that we, the Ambazonian people, see that makes sense is for us to have a country for Ambazonians and by Ambazonians. We don't want to live with you all anymore. You all have mistreated us, treated us like fifth-class citizens, don't even develop our part of the country, you undereducate us, you miseducate us, and it's too much. Way too much. And now we are doing those things that are going to help us to be internationally recognized and for us to have a country of our own. So there's nothing really much. Way too much. And now we are doing those things that are going to help us to be internationally recognized and for us to have a country
Yes.
of our own. So there's nothing really much. Way too much. And now we are doing those things that yeah, over to you, my friends. Internationally recognized and plus have a country.
Yes. The other aspect that I want us to discuss is the aspect that the fact that we have had a lot of setback in the past, but now we are seeing positive moves. And I don't understand. La République still see us as those 2 cubes of sugar that they can just pound on and do whatever they can, and they can go scot-free, but they don't understand that we have a lobbies that has 30 years of experience. This lobbies is a lobbies that knows the correct doors to knock. This lobbies has been there with other countries. This lobby is not a new lobbies. It has more than 30 years of experience. So these are the fruits of the labor of this government, and we see that La République is still looking at us like those like Norways and Sours. The Ambazonian diplomatic lobbies knows our backstory, especially the days of the stolen 1992 elections and all those. They know very well. Okay, today we are seeing the fruit of the lobbies that we have been missing for the past several years. So, what can you say about this achievement by the lobbies?
So, my fellow Ambazonian, first of all, let us talk about what a lobbyist is, what a professional spokesperson is. What is the best way I can explain? Because we've touched on this topic before, so let me see. A lot of setback in the past, but now we are seeing positive moves. When you look at our traditional rules, right? You know that there's people who are around those traditional rulers that if you want to go and talk to one of them, there are certain things that you have to have done in order to be able to talk to them. For me, like in Bafut, we have the me. When you do your me, you're able to talk directly with the fund, right? Let's say someone hasn't done their me. Before that person can talk to the fund, they have to come through, someone who has the ability to talk to the fund. That's essentially what a lobbyist is. That's essentially what a lobbyist is. I know there are a lot of people out there who will say, but, why are you all spending this money? We could go and talk to the politicians, the policymakers in the countries that you live in. You can go do that ourselves. You don't have to pay a lobby. I mean, that's partially true. We may be, as individual citizens of the countries that we live in, we may be able to get to the front office, talk to the secretary of that position, maybe even talk to the chief of staff of that politician. But there are other people who, because of their past work experience, right, because of the kind of organizations that they have set up, they are able to bypass the secretary, maybe even bypass the chief of staff, and get directly to talk to that political figure directly. And that's how what the lobbyist is. They're that person who, because of their work experience, their policy expertise, they have access. And that's one of the big advantages of us pursuing this lobbyist, is because, my fellow Ambazonians, you all know, in the early days of the struggle, you saw countless numbers of our Ambazonian brothers who were presenting themselves at different state capitals, within the corridors of power, and present themselves there. And that was useful. Don't get me wrong; it was useful. It was useful, especially it was useful in helping to keep us motivated and all those types of things. But ultimately, we need to be able to reach the right people at this stage of our liberation struggle, because we've come a long way. And right now, we need to be efficient and effective in the things that we're doing. And that's what is important about this lobby. This is someone with 30 years of experience. This is someone who has lobbied for other African countries before, and other political figures, even in the United States before. So we are doing the right thing. And this person also comes recommended by people who know what they're talking about when it comes to international relations and diplomacy. So it's not as if we just woke up from bed and we just went and found this person and we think, no. In addition to the recommendation, we've also done our research, and we know this gentleman is a competent gentleman. He's an experienced gentleman. Then on top of that, he knows our personal story, face à face. How did the French say it? Face à face, right? He knows it. So we have a lot of confidence in him, and we're going to be helping him, and he's going to be helping us to achieve our goals of liberating our homeland.
Mm. Thank you. We see these achievements. Today marks a very symbolic day, a momentous day for the insoluble cubes of sugar, right? And
Yep.
We have to thank God for today, because today give us that renewed commitment, okay? That renewed commitment that we have been waiting for. Today we see a historic day that God has made, that we have to be glad in it. We see the various stakeholders, and some people said, oh, this thing is about the interim government, is about Comrade Chris, it's about this. But you saw SCAPO, you saw NCNC, you saw all those other representatives there. So this is about Ambazonia. It's not about any individual. I always tell people that in the past, now we are having anthem, right? We are having flags. We are having this. Do they care to know who were those behind these flags or behind this anthem? But everybody is singing it as Ambazonian, right? So I don't understand. Today, can you give us this renewed commitment and this hope that we have had today? What are those aspects of hope that you can think of when it comes to this day of today? That we have had an embassy today. This special ceremony of today.
Yes, as my brother, as you restated, the insoluble cubes of sugar have fallen, rising to fall no more, right? As we say, we are rising to fall no more. So, some of us, as you see, some of us who are in this liberation struggle, we are die-hard Ambazonians.
Yeah.
Die-hard in the wool Ambazonians. And I know, my fellow Ambazonians, you all know that in order to be able to achieve anything in life, you're going to go through ups and downs. But it is how focused, determined, resilient, and committed you are that ultimately helps you to achieve that goal that you are trying to achieve. It is, how focused, how steady you keep yourself, how the ingenuity you use to overcome obstacles. Because things in life, we all know things in life are not always straight. There's always something's going to come along that's going to knock you. And it's up to you for you to realize that this thing that has knocked me is not for it to knock me and I stay down. It's to knock me so that I'm stronger, because as you keep moving ahead, there are things that are also going to be tough, but because of the tough experiences you've gone to in the past, you realize that you will overcome. So as much as we've had our setbacks, we've had our trials and tribulations, that is a part of life. And those who have lived life, those who have found success in life, we know this. Some of the things we've gone through, they come with the territory. So we are okay. Ambazonians, we are okay. And as a matter of fact, some of the people who are even behind the scenes, who are talking to us, giving us guidance and inspiring us, they're the people. And then we're even seeing what is going on in Ground Zero. Our brothers are not, our brave brothers of the liberation forces, they're not giving up. Our people are still standing with us. So why would you give up? And then, most importantly, my fellow Ambazonians, you all know we are fighting a just fight, right?
Yeah.
Who are still making sure that they love our country, they protect our country, and they protect those who are fighting for our country. Our people are still with us. So continue to be focused, my people. Continue to be resilient. Continue to have courage. We are going to make it. We are not the first people who have gone through this, and we will not be the last people that have gone through this, because there is injustice in this world. There are situations in this world where people are trying to take other people's freedoms. And the only way you have your freedom is when you stand up and fight for it. And when you stand up to tell those who are trying to enslave you, no. And that's what we have done. And now that we've stood up and said no, we have to make sure that we completely free ourselves, and that we get the international community to see that these people who are freeing themselves, they're going to be reliable partners in the rules-based system of this world. They're going to be reliable business partners that they can work with, and that we're going to make the Gulf of Guinea a safe and secure place that will be prosperous to the indigents of Ambazonia, and also bring win-on-win solutions to those who want to do business with us. So we'll be okay, and we're going to make it.
Doc, thank you. Let's talk a little bit about this issue where you see some leaders are trying to bring in infighting among the fighters. I want us to go a little bit out of this launching today, because those guys, those leaders who are trying to bring infighting among the fighters, we discussed issue of Sagon. You remember issue of Sagon, where they were trying to some leaders were trying to fan hatred and infighting. Most of the soldiers have passed away due to this. Okay, most of them. We're trying to ask it. Let me ask this: do you think that this? Okay, we saw some of the fighters. They in Ngoketunja, they had a meeting and they decided that they don't want anything to do with diaspora in terms of listening to the diaspora, just because of this kind of infighting that has been caused by some leaders. So what can you say about that? The unity warriors in Ngoketunja, who said they prefer to stay like that because they have had enough of this infighting.
So I watched that video, right, and I went away from that video saying that the thing that what our brothers in Ground Zero are trying to get us in the diaspora to do, to be more collaborative with each other, right, to cooperate with each other more, to see eye to eye with each other more. Those are all good things, right? Those are all good things. But for our brothers who are speaking in that video to make it seem as if it's only us in the diaspora that are causing all this infighting and confusion. I don't think it's not fair, and I don't think it's accurate. And I'll use this as an example. If you see, I don't know if he's FM or General, the only bro, and FM Sagon, and you ask yourself, okay, the people who have replaced or who prefer to use General, the only bro, over FM Sagon, what happened that they don't feel confident in using FM and working with FM Sagon anymore? And now that these diaspora people, they don't want to work with FM Sagon anymore. They've chosen the only bro, and now it's causing conflict, right? And of course, FM Sagon probably has gone to form his other force. Those are things that happen in the liberation struggle. So I want our brothers back home to see that even amongst themselves, when you want to replace a general, and then that general, for whatever reason, that general is being replaced, and he chooses not to retire or take a different role in the organization, and then he goes and forms his own organization. That's some of what is going on in the diaspora. I mean, Comrade Dr. Sako, the Restoration Council had concerns about things that were being done that Dr. Sako was doing, and they called him to investigate, and he refused to show up for that investigation. And then in the process of refusing to show up for that investigation, he attempted to dissolve the Restoration Council. Those are tactics that we see from dictatorships. And as a result, the Restoration Council said, we're not going to allow you to engage in this autocratic dictatorial act. We're going to impeach you. And they impeached him. He went to go form his own organization. That is very similar to what's going on in Ground Zero. If you see that a particular general is no longer being productive, there's a lot of questions and complaints coming from his fellow fighters, and that diaspora organization replaces him, and then that person doesn't want to step down. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? So that's some of the situations that we in the diaspora are facing. So when our brothers in Ground Zero, they just give a blanket statement to some of these things, and unfortunately, because there's some opportunists out there who want to promote infighting amongst us, so they present things in the wrong way that makes people back home to get confused. That's the situation we end up in. But ultimately, we have to find a way to come to an understanding with each other. It will take time. Not all of us will end up working with each other. Those of us who are willing will end up working with each other. That's just how it is. That's even how we're seeing it. Those who are willing to work, they will work with each other.
Yes. Thank you, Doc. But I want us to look at it in this way also. Let's see how we can help the fighters to reason. Okay, I don't know. Most of them they have passed away due to this, like not taking from the diaspora, right? They want to be on their own, and at the end of the day, they still call the diaspora for funds. They still call the leaders for funds. They still need help. So at the end of the day, there should be kind of a synergy to bring the fighters together in some form of organization. Okay, and creating this kind of militia, I don't think that's the best idea. And so what advice can we give to these fighters? To stop fighting among themselves and focus on the enemy like Republic, to stop taking instructions from people who they believe are not trustworthy, because we have seen for the past 7 years that most generals have passed away due to some I can say blackmail or some kind of blacklegism that is going on through some frontline leaders. So I don't understand. So what advice can you give to these fighters? Because they are watching us now. What advice can we give to them? You have been in the struggle. What advice you can give to them?
So ultimately, for me, the best advice I can give to them is that, look, the diaspora needs ground zero, and ground zero needs the diaspora. That's just the plain, simple truth about it. I know my fellow fighters. I know there have been people who have come to you all and they've made statements. Don't pledge allegiance to any diaspora organization. Just fight for the flag. And then these same very funny set of people, they come around and they set up an organization where they're trying to manage you and influence you and all that kind of stuff like that. So there's that hypocrisy that is very funny, and we're not blind to it. But ultimately, fighting forces, liberation forces, you need a political wing, and the same way a political wing also needs a militant wing, right? Because at some point, when certain things break down and you cannot go through the ballot box because those who are on the ballot box are, they're stuffing it or they're rigging the election system, all those things, you're going to end up having to fight. If they're not developing your part of the country, you're going to end up having to fight, right? When they're treating you as a fifth or sixth class citizen, you're going to have to fight. And you're going to want to have a situation where not only do you have your militant wing and your political wing, but they both have to work together so that what we all are able to achieve through our kinetic activities also help to support our political aspirations. You understand? I mean, the military and the political. Let me say, it's all they all go hand in hand, right? There's one book on diplomacy I was reading where they talk about war as being another part of diplomacy, right, or governance. I'm kind of paraphrasing. The battlefield is the leverage that gives the political wing to be able to exact some of the political outcomes, that we are fighting for, that we deserve, that are ours. You understand? So you cannot separate yourselves from your political wing. The same way the political wing cannot separate itself from the militant wing, from our brothers on the battlefield. It's we are together, right? If you don't have the other, then it just ends up in a situation where you're fighting for nothing, right? Because if you cannot explain what you're actually fighting for and what you're trying to achieve through the fighting, then it's like, like our brother Fritz here has just pointed out, ends up being like you're in some kind of a gang or some kind of a warlord type of situation, and that's not what we want, right? So the best advice that I can give to our brothers in Ground Zero is that if you have your political organization that is fundraising for you, that is making sure you are able to do what you need to do to free all of us so that we all can be free, you can be free, and we can be free. And that diaspora organization is also engaging in diplomats in the diaspora. Stick with them. Make sure that the organization that you're with is an organization that when you give your complaints, they're going to listen. And at the same time, when they give you their complaints, that you all should listen. Because I'm sure you all back home can recognize that certain things that have gone wrong back home that have helped to turn people off. And we have to avoid that type of situation.
That's true. Thank you. Doc, there is this issue of the, I want you to explain the importance of this diplomatic mission, because a lot of people still look at it in a way, they say that, this is for asylum seekers that they created this, but I want us to see the long-term gain for this, so that people can really understand the importance of this diplomatic mission. Most Ambazonians don't understand this, and they think that it's just something that just come from a blue. But from every indication, we can see this as a win-win situation, where any diplomatic opportunities we have, we can make a lot of gains. And for the past 7 years, we have not seen this. So, can you tell Ambazonians the importance of this diplomatic mission.
So ultimately, right, the reason why you have a representative organization in a country abroad, let me put it like that, abroad, is for that diplomatic office, diplomatic mission, as we're calling ourselves, is to protect the rights of people from back home in the country that they find themselves in abroad, and to also promote their aspirations and the pursuits of the home country in the foreign country that they're stationed in. Those are the two things that are there. So when someone says, "Oh, these people have opened up an organization that's going to be issuing out asylum or assisting in asylum cases and all that," what's wrong with that? I mean, tell me the truth. What is really wrong with that? Embassies of international recognized countries, do they not help protect the rights of their citizens who are living in a foreign land? When Americans go abroad and they get themselves in trouble in the countries that they may be in abroad, do they not contact the U.S. Embassy and say, "Hey, I'm in trouble. Can you help provide me with someone who can maybe translate for me, or get me some legal representation, or who I can choose as legal representation, or intercede for me?" So if the Ambazonia's diplomatic mission in DC, if we're engaging in those same activities, what is wrong with that? I personally don't really see what is wrong with that. But that's not the only thing that our diplomatic mission is going to be doing for Ambazonia. Our diplomatic mission is also going to be, the flyer that we put out, right? I know first on the list was, we'll offer you affidavits for your case. Okay, you've come to this country, or you've come to any other country, and maybe they want to send you back to the war zone. Will the diplomatic mission, is it not important for the diplomatic mission to be able to provide some guidance to the country that you're in about the situation that is going on back home that makes it unsafe for you? What's wrong with that? Does the U.S. Embassy not issue advice to its citizens who are living in countries when things become safe, and even start to advise them that maybe they need to evacuate? Do they not do that? It's the same thing, right? So we'll be able to give affidavits and to support why you're making the case that you're trying to make. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong. It says, we'll offer you an Amba ID card to testify that you're an Ambazonian. Yes, if you're a bona fide Ambazonian, born and bred Ambazonian, you'll get an ID card so that you'll be able to show that, you're proud of your identity. In the future, you'll also be able to say that, hey, I was a part of what helped to liberate us. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Number 3 on the list, we'll call your foreign ministry I know it says we'll call your foreign ministry to strike a refugee deal. Ultimately, what that means is that if you are an Ambazonian in any of the countries that you're living in, and you have been able to make connections with your foreign ministries or foreign relations offices, and you want the diplomatic office and the representatives to have conversation with that foreign ministry, right? To be able to explain to them, hey, this is how we think you should be able to protect citizens that led the conflict in Ambazonia and come to your area. These are some of the things that we believe that you can do. After all, and other countries where Ambazonians have also fled to, this is what those countries are doing to protect those Ambazonians. That's some of the work we'll be able to do. We'll be able to give policy guidance to the countries where you're living in case there are several refugees there, so that they can be able to protect you and shepherd you through their systems so that you can be safe, right? There's absolutely nothing wrong with the diplomatic mission, our diplomatic mission doing that, and that's what we're going to be doing. The next one, we'll answer calls from your lawyer about your refugee status. Translation, as you're pursuing your case, your lawyer may have questions about, hey, what else besides what I've seen, what your lawyer has researched online. They may call and say, hey, what else is going on back home? What's the conflict level? What's the threat level? Where are the hot zones? Is this person really an Ambazonian? Those are the kind of questions that they'll be able to answer. Again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And mind you, in doing that, we're helping to get our plight out there for everyone to watch and be aware of. You see, this next one is number 5. We'll visit countries with many refugees to talk with them. Look, especially for our brothers in ground 1, ground 2, and other areas. Sometimes, you just need that reassurance that there's someone out there who is thinking about you, who cares for you, so that way you don't feel alone, right? Don't other countries do that for their own citizens when there's a particular tragedy that maybe has affected their citizens in that country? The ambassador is known to go to those places and meet with their citizens who are there to try to condone to them, because that's how your home country is looking out for you. And even though they're far away, there's still representatives out there. Matter of fact, have we also not seen Comrade Chris and other representatives of IG who have traveled to Ground One to, to bring some cheer to our refugees there? So those are some of the things that we're going to do. We know we have our brothers in Cyprus, right? Who it would be good if we went out there and visited them and helped them organize themselves to be able to get our message out and to also to be able to protect themselves if they're there. We also have our brothers in UAE, right? There will come a time when we'll need to go out there and go and meet with them, converse with them, and help them set up structures that will help provide amenities for all the different Ambazonians that be immigrating to the Middle East for working purposes and all that type of stuff. Even in Germany, Australia, the same thing. We'll come there, help you all organize, help you up, set up systems that can protect Ambazonians who are abroad. I mean, that's what diplomatic missions do. And then the last one that's on the list, will offer you counseling service regarding your asylum case. Ultimately, the translation for that is that, hey, there are going to be lawyers who are the diplomatic office who may have worked with. We can probably give you some guidance about who some of those lawyers are, and you can consult with them to help you regularize your stay and to help you feel safe in whatever country you're in, depending on what situation you're in. So, and then in addition to that, the biggest thing that this diplomatic mission is going to be doing is making sure that our case is on the radar of the international community, on the power brokers of the world that we live in. If we're going to need La Republic to commit to the negotiation table, we're going to need La Republic to stop running away from the negotiation table. And ultimately, we're going to have to present our unique ask that the international community can get behind. And that unique ask is an exclusive, internationally supervised referendum. And we're going to need the international community to rally behind that and to help us achieve that, so that our people can vote for our independence and we can be internationally recognized and live as a free people. So these are all the myriad of things that this diplomatic mission is going to do.
Wow, that last point was very important. La Republic running away from negotiation. For the past 7 years, we have seen La Republic running away from diplomatic discussions. They have run from Switzerland, ran from Canada. They are still running, and now they don't want us to have our own mission. So I want us to pass a message to La Republic, because I guess the Cameroon government leaders should now be drawing. Now they are drawing. They are going to another drawing book now, because this diplomatic mission has sent a signal to them. Okay, they will certainly return to a drawing board now and trying to see what kind of message they can pass now. Okay, the message is that Cameroon cannot continue to impose her will on the free people of Ambazonia. This diplomatic mission is the next level of this struggle. There is no level of intimidation, arrest, torture, imprisonment, and killing that will puncture the idea of a free, independent Ambazonia. Dr. Mwambe, what message can you pass to the people of to the La Republic government? Because they send their ambassador to disrupt the launching of the embassy. So for the past 7 years, they need a message. We need to send them a message that we are no more that 2 kilos of sugar. Dr. Wame, can you send a message to them?
Well, ultimately, I mean, I'll use the words of Comrade Chris, and our fighters back home. Ambazonia is here to stay. We're not running away. Shake no day. And ultimately, if the people of French Cameroon want to save the lives of their soldiers, they need to commit to the negotiation table. right? That's ultimately the biggest message, because Ambazonians, we're not going to stop. We are people who, we don't like injustice. We don't like to be mistreated. We want our dignity. We want to govern ourselves. We're tired of being treated like, fifth class citizenships in that country. We're tired of all the investment money that we pay taxes into, it going into the French part of the country, but you all are there window dressing because you've given a prime minister post to someone who speaks English, but he really has no authority. We're tired of all those face-saving things. We're tired of the only way it seems as if you're going to be able to succeed in that country is if you speak French. All that nonsense, we're tired of it. And we're tired of the fact that, the country that we were supposed to have, it was stolen from us. And we're trying to correct that wrong. And we're committed to this. And ultimately, Ambazonia is going to exist, or La Republique du Cameroon is going to fail. And if La Republique du Cameroon does not negotiate, right? If they don't negotiate, they're going to end up in country is going to fail. And in the midst of their country failing, Ambazonia is still going to end up going free. So it's better they save themselves by allowing Ambazonia to become a fully sovereign, independent, separate nation from French Cameroon, so that the French Cameroonese can fix their own country. That's the biggest message I have to send for French Cameroonese. I don't know why you all are allowing Dictator Biya to send your daughters and sons to die in Ambazonia. It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand why La Republique du Camerounais are allowing the CPDM dictatorship to impoverish their country, to enslave another set of people. It absolutely makes no sense. The money that French Cameroon is wasting on sending its soldiers to die in Ambazonia, that's money they could have been using to build better roads connecting Douala, Yaoundé to Garoua and Ngaoundéré and the rest, right? That's money that could have been used to be building schools for French Cameroonese, right? For adding more universities to the system, right? For encouraging the business sector, right? For their citizens. So do not allow the CPDM government, right? Do not allow your government to send your sons and daughters to die to enslave Amazonians. That's another message. Do not allow them to do it. Do not allow them to sink you all into debt, all in the name of protecting a dictator who spent most of his life in Switzerland, who doesn't even care about you all. Do not allow a dictator who wants to pass on the country over to the son of his, as if it's some kind of dynasty. That's what you all are fighting for. You're fighting for that guy. So you all need to stand up, march to Palais de Congrès and tell them to let Ambazonia go. Even if you have to do sit-ins, tell the politicians of French Cameroon to let Ambazonia go so that you all can focus on developing your country, and then we Ambazonians will focus on developing our country, and we can be two good neighbors with each other, and maybe one day we will forgive you all for all the mischief you did to us.
Thank you. Doc, it was a pleasure having you today. We have a lot to talk about, but the time, I just took you from your very busy schedule to come on air today. So thank you for coming. I want to thank all the audience. I want to thank all the audience in the YouTube, on Facebook. Thank you, guys. We're going to be bringing other audiences, other wonderful panelists like Dr. Ngwambe in our next episode. So please stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you... Thank you, Dr. Ngwambe, and God bless you, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you, man. Thank you very much.
As liberation. To the government of La République du Cameroon, we issue a solemn warning. We are not terrorists, neither are we